and I flake my shirt here so that when I stand up, it's not stuck in from when I'm sitting. I mean, you know what I mean? So what you'll see a lot of people do is they'll stand up and they're talking and they're not paying attention. They're going like this and flaking their shirt off the gun, you know, and adjusting their belt and like doing this, especially when they get out of the car. So it's normally when you stand up, it's going from seated to standing typically, right? And when you go from seated to standing, it draws attention, right? When I get up out of a chair, the chair moves, there's movement, you catches your eye. Getting out of the vehicle, the door opens, right? You get out of the car, right? Or the door slams, it draws attention, and then there you are adjusting your shit. So what I try to do is I try to make that adjustment even if I'm at 9 o'clock, I make that adjustment, make sure the handle's positioned the way I want before I get out of the car, before I stand up, to where my hands are low and no one can see them. You know what I mean? And then going in addition to that, people who are looking to do a crime, right, who are already mentally anticipating, or maybe you see a crime happening and you're trying to time your response, right? What you see people start to do, they start doing this and they start like prepping their hands, and they start prepping their hands on their shirt. So it's like most people don't stand around holding their shirt like this. But if I'm thinking like, all right, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, and I'm gonna get him, right? And I'm prepping my shirt. Then like if I'm looking around, if I know that I'm doing something bad, and I look around and I see you cupping your shirt, I'm gonna be like let me see your hands, like, you know, put your hands up or whatever, or, you know, if they're a really bad person and they just shoot you or something like that, right? So we don't want to start telegraphing that. And the other thing you'll see is people be like, okay, like you ever done a shooting drill and you check your gun, you're like, okay, you already checked it, you know it's good to go. You're like, all right, you check it one more time, you put your hand to your holster, all right, here we go, right? So it's the same thing, like that same psychological thing. If you watch the videos with the people like waiting, maybe there's like 5 or 6 people in the convenience store, and they're like waiting for the people to move out so that they can, you know, address the cashier without having 5 to 10 people inside the gas station. You see them, they're like pacing, they're flaking their shirt, they're like touching the weapon, like, yeah, it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. And they're doing this, and you know what I mean? Like they're nervous, right? Because they know what they're about to do, and they know what they're about to do is bad. So they continue to touch the weapon just to make sure, because it makes them feel good, like that it's still there. It's like, well, it hasn't gone anywhere. So if we're trying to react to that, the psychological part is the same for us trying to react and stop the bad guy. So we don't want to make sure that we're not letting them know through our body language of what our intent is to try to counter their attack, right? So it works both ways. We want to be able to see and identify if we think someone else is about to do something bad, right? And not to make like necessarily like a citizen's arrest or some shit, but like now I'm mentally prepared, like, that seems off. I'm going to keep a little bit more of an eye on that, you know, and just watch, right? Which shortens up my reaction time. And then at the same time, it allows me not to telegraph myself, you know, if I need to utilize the same tactics for self-defense. You know what I mean? But mainly that's happening when we're moving from a seated position to standing.